Who is the interviewer?
Who's the interviewer? Amy. Amy Wilson is the interviewer.
Make sure you say that.
And this is, what is today's date, guys?
The 18th
Of
April
April
2016.
2016.
Yes.
All right. And we're going to be talking a little bit about your childhoods for me and for your kids and for your grandkids. And
Sounds like
because
fun.
everyone always says we should get this on tape, and we don't.
Yeah.
So here
Good
we
for
go.
you, Amy.
We're doing it.
Yes.
All right. So, just in case this is viewed 100 years from now, please state your names.
Ladies first.
Go ahead, Mary.
Mary Breakie.
Deloris Wilson Drumm.
Norman Wilson.
All right. Welcome. And let's start with something easy. What is your earliest memory?
You want me to start?
Yes.
Whoever
Okay.
wants to.
My earliest memory is at 29 South Tasmania, Pontiac, Michigan. And my first memory is my mother putting me down in the grass with nothing but my diaper on and me hating the feel of the prickly grass on the back of my legs. And that is my first memory at 29 South Tasmania. Unfortunately, they tore the house down and they never put up a plaque that Norman Wilson lived there.
And this would have been around 1942, late 1942.
That was in 1942.
All right, to give, it, to
The
give a
summer.
reference point.
The summer of 42.
All right. And Deloris?
Okay, my earliest memory was when we lived at 111 Palmer Street and was in my crib in the girls' bedroom. I had to go to the bathroom and saying, "Daddy, Daddy, I need to go potty, Daddy." And that's my earliest memory. So
Did you make it? Do you remember that?
I remember calling him
Yeah.
for him a long time, but I assume eventually he came.
And Mary?
I think the earliest memory I have, I had told these people earlier, was when my sister and I, Glenna, stayed in our parents' bedroom at night. We each had a twin bed, like, or crib bed, like
6-year cribs.
6-year cribs. One, I was on the one beside my parents' bed, and she was at the one at the foot of the bed. Well, I remember one night waking up, and my parents were sound asleep, and right beside each one of them was what I saw to be a guardian angel. And I never could tell if it was a dream or if it was real. But I like to think it was real. Because they had wings, and they just stood there perfectly still, just watching over everybody as we slept. That's my earliest memory.
That's beautiful.
I don't know how old I was, but 4 or 5 maybe.
Very nice. Very nice.
And so you can choose how old were each of you when you moved? Well, the Tasmania house.
I
you
was
were-
3 when we moved from Tasmania Street to Palmer Street.
And were you
So I would have been between 1.5 and 2, so I don't remember Tasmania Street.
I wasn't
there
there
yet.
Yeah.
You're a
And
baby.
that was in 1945
That we moved there?
that we moved
Palmer.
there. Yes.
Okay.
And what year were each of you born, by the way? 1942 for Norman.
1942.
1943.
1948.
Okay, so there we go. And so I guess it would be in the Palmer house. Describe what your childhood bedroom was like. What setup did you have, and what do you remember from your childhood bedroom?
Well, the boys' dormitory bedroom was the front, right over the front porch. And the wallpaper that was in that room when we moved into that house was blue background with 1940 or World War II fighter airplanes and bombers flying in the air in all different formations and directions, and it was so beautiful to see, and the clouds and everything. It was really a beautiful room.
I don't
How were your beds arranged?
The beds were, when you walked into the room in the doorway, on this wall there were beds this way, and on the front wall there were beds across the front wall, and then there was a closet that was actually over the stairway, and then there was a small area there for dressers. And I can tell of, there were 4 boys that slept in that bedroom when we were all little. And I can remember getting in trouble because of our ages. The youngest had to go to bed first, earlier than the others. So David had to go to bed before me. And I knew that he had to be in bed by a certain time. So I snuck up the stairs ahead of him. No, I'll take that back. He was already in bed. And the room was dark except for the light of the hallway. And I quietly crawled under his bed, all the way under the bed, both beds, all the way till I got under his bed. And then I rolled over on my back and put my hands and my feet through the coils under his mattress and goes like that. And he flew out of bed, terrified, running downstairs to tell Dad that there was a monster under his bed. Well, Mom and Dad didn't say a whole lot to me, but a couple nights later, Mom told me to go down to the furnace room and get something. And Dad was waiting in the coal room.
Oh, I didn't hear this
So
story.
when I got down there, he waited till I got in by the